Hello and welcome everyone to Monday Night Lives in the Launching Life with Autism Facebook group. This group is for parents out there who are new to autism, who are struggling with the chaos that autism has brought to their lives, and they want to get calm, understand, and connect with their child. If that sounds like you, then you are in the right place. And I am your host, Erin Porter. I went through this chaos during 23 years of teaching kindergarten, and now I'm on a mission to help parents get through that same chaos. What I learned and implemented over 23 years in the classroom and 5 more years in spec ed has helped hundreds of parents and teachers calm the chaos that comes with a new autism diagnosis. I love that you're saying hello. I love it. Hi, Denise. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Thelma. Facebook always tells me the number of people who are here, but it never tells me who is here. So, hi, Anand. Thank you. It's great that you're all here. I love it. No worries about the typo. I got it. So, today we're talking about children who do not respond to their names. Hi, Kayla. Um, this topic came up in a private conversation with a parent this week. And because others have mentioned it and it's come up it seems to be a little bit more since school has started, I thought that it would be a good time to talk about this. So I can offer the recording as a resource for everyone in the group. Hi, Ashley, and hi, Liz. Thanks, everyone, for saying hello. So, hi, Beth. This is great. I love that you know to do this. Amazing. So, do you all have a child with autism who does not respond to their name? If that's a yes, you can just type a yes. Um, or do they sometimes respond to their name? And are you wondering why? Like, if it's because they're so deeply engrossed in what they're doing that they may not hear you? Thanks, Sam and Brianna. Um, or do you think they tune you out? Or maybe that they're ignoring you? The truth is, it doesn't actually matter. But we'll talk about why they might be tuning you out a bit. But what matters really is that they do respond to their name. It really just boils down to a safety issue. You might be right there, Sam. Your child might be ignoring you. Um, and Sharon, not sure. Sometimes, yeah. Let's um, let's just boil this down to a safety issue and say that your child should be responding to their name. And like Liz says there, it's hit or miss. With school starting and everything, safety is top of mind for everyone. So, first, before we dive into a little bit of my theory, I would encourage you all to get your child's hearing checked. Make sure this is not a physical or medical issue. So, rule that out. Okay? Now, I'm curious about something, and I'm looking for someone who's brave who wants to help me out with this. Um, it's important for you to know that I'm not picking on anyone. I just need someone to help me with a number. It's just an example to help illustrate what's going on. So here's what I'm curious about. How many times a day do you say your child's name? So start thinking about what that sounds like to you, how it works, how many times you say it. Do you say it 5 times, 25 times, 105 times? Do you say their name once when you're calling them? Or do you say it once and then pause and then say it 12 more times? Beth says 30 or more. Denise, 50 at least. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to use your examples. I was prepared for no one to answer, but I would love to use your examples. So feels like 100, Kayla. Okay, I want to go with Sharon because you're 50 at least. Sharon, can I use you as an example? Would that be okay? I just want to get a thumbs up or something from you if you're okay with me using your number. Sharon, just give me a thumbs up there. Sure, great, thank you. Okay, so I want to do some math. So I'm going to get my phone out here with my calculator. So Sharon, can you tell us all how old is your child? And just write the number there in the comments um, so that we know. Or at least Lori says at least 50 times a day. Um, and he has perfect hearing. Yes. Okay, so Lori, so this number is going to ring true for you as well. Sharon, how old is your child? 2 in December. Okay, Sharon, I'm going to pause on yours because I'm just going to say that he's little. Lori, how old is your child who you say 50 times a day? Can you tell us? He's 4. Okay, Sharon, I'm just going to show you what things could look like by the time your son gets to 4. But I'm going to assume, just for the sake of this, that your child should be responding to their name by the time they're 2. Does that sound fair? Um, so I just don't want to get into months and stuff with yours, Sharon. So we're going to talk about 50 times with Lori, and her son is 4. So for the past 2 years, he's been hearing his name 50 times a day. Okay, let's do this math. So 365 days in a year times 50 times 2, because we're talking about 2 years. We're going to say that up until 2, we're just going to give him that grace period. By the time he was 2, he should be responding to his name, and he's now 4. So times 2. Okay, this is powerful stuff. Lori, your child has heard his name 36,500 times over the past 2 years, and he's not responding to it. If you did something 36,500 times, you would be very good at it. Just saying. Why would 36,501 be any different than all those times before? So what's your response when you say their name? Do you say it again louder, adding to the number of times that you say their name? Do you say it faster? Or do you just make the decision or do the thing that you're asking them to do? What is the incentive for your child to respond to their name? Yes, you got that, Lori. So we all know that children with autism process information differently. You say their middle name too, Sharon. Yes. We all know that children with autism process information differently than typically developing children. So why are we expecting the reaction of a typically developing child from a child with autism? If a typically developing child is motivated to respond to their name by feeling pride because they know they're going to get to do something or get something, or maybe they get a hug or a kiss or to go somewhere or to do something, all those things can be motivating. But how are we going to motivate your child with autism to respond to their name if none of those things that we're expecting to motivate them are motivating? Does this make sense? It's sometimes a blind spot. The parents of children with autism expect their child to respond in a typical way, but they haven't yet changed the way they're communicating. It's all about communication and what messages you are sending to your child. Because you have to change your behavior for your child with autism to respond differently. So, in the case of this number, which was 36,500, there is a message that's being communicated 36,500 times when the name is being said. So I just want to circle back to this example for a sec. So why would they respond any differently if they know what the message is? So what would motivate any of your children to respond? How are we going to change the story from a child that doesn't respond to he always or usually responds? Now, I'm talking about little people here because we all know this comes back to haunt us when they're teenagers. That's like the active non listening, right? Um, so I had a client a few years ago whose daughter was 3 and she would not respond to her name. Um, and when she didn't respond to their name or her name, the parents would get louder and say it a lot and say it quickly. So one name calling situation turned into her hearing her name like a dozen times. So I'll just use my name as an example. So the parent would say, Aaron, 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 yoo-hoo, Aaron. And all of a sudden she's heard her name 12 times and she's not responding to any of them. So then this parent would give up and either just make a choice for her, give her something. They would physically move her if they were trying to get out the door. They would put her shoes on for her, or they would just get her whatever it is or do whatever it is they were asking her to do. There's all kinds of scenarios here, but I just want to acknowledge that they were doing them all in the name of making things easier, less time consuming, and avoiding a meltdown. I get it. And this is really hard for parents because it's our job to teach our children how to be independent with things, to respond to us, to follow instructions. But if that's going to make us late for work, cause a meltdown, it's easier sometimes to just do the stuff or make the decision, right? I get it. So, how do we shift this? First, you need to determine that it's not their hearing. Please do that if you have a child that's not responding to their name. But then, for a very short amount of time, you need to stop saying their name. Like, totally stop. Stop calling them, knowing that they won't respond. Stop reinforcing that their name means nothing to them. That's it for a sec. Right now, if they are not responding to their name, they have learned that if they don't acknowledge, you might take care of what comes next. They might have just learned that whatever you're calling for isn't that important. So these parents that I coached stopped calling their daughter's name. They just stopped using it. It was just for a couple days. It was hard and it took a lot of practice. But that's not all that they did. After stopping for a few days, we reintroduced her name with something highly motivating for her every single time. And we used that motivator to get her to acknowledge, turn, look, respond, and do. It was a process, but you can do this. A child with autism will respond to their name if you communicate it in a way that is meaningful to them. It's all about communication. Communicating in a way so they can process, understand, and respond. Your child with autism can respond to their name. The strategy and actual specifics about how to do this goes beyond the scope of this live stream. If you want to know more, you'll need to reach out, and I'm happy to talk to you. Because we'll have to really dig down into how your child processes information and change the way you are communicating. And that's a much bigger conversation than a 15-minute live stream. So if you want to have that conversation, if that feels like a good next right step for you, just send me a private message and I'll reply. We can talk about your next step. Until then, pay attention to what is happening. What does calling your child's name mean to them? Are you informing them that you are going to do whatever you're asking them to do? What is the actual message that you're sending? If you want to change that message, reach out. Just send me a message. Have a good night, everyone. If you have any questions before I go, feel free to type them in there. Oh, Beth, if my granddaughter doesn't respond, I start counting and it gets her attention. There you go. If you've found what's motivating for her. Is the counting motivating because she likes numbers and she likes counting, or does something happen when you get to a certain number? Good night, Sharon. See you all next week, and reach out if you'd like some help with this. Bye, everyone.